I'm Cynthia James, and this network is about changing lives one woman at a time. We are changing the world one woman at a time. We are changing our neighborhoods and our communities and our families one woman at a time, because we're here to do great things. This is the time of women emerging. And so I am grateful to get to introduce you to women that inspire me, women that are change makers, women that are absolutely on purpose and dedicated to being their best in this world. So today, I get to introduce you to Chef Lisa Gibbons. I wanted to say chief, but that's not it. Chef Lisa Gibbons. Okay, she's amazing. So she is an executive personal chef for Gourmet Away LLC. She has been for 11 years menu planning and cooking for hundreds of clients, that really are like challenged with what's for dinner, right? She's worked for business professionals and retired seniors and professional athletes, just to name a few. I am so honored. She's also won awards and been on covers of magazines, and her dedication to supporting people and bringing love to food is tangible. Lisa, welcome.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, me too. And okay, first of all, you know, what made you want to be a chef?
So, that's very interesting. So my background is in technology, and I did that for 22 years. But I remember growing up. So my mom, I think, is by far and still is the best cook. My mom worked all the time, but she would make sure that we always had a home cooked meal. And then my stepdad was a seaman, and for 3 months at a time, he would be out at sea cooking. So he was an excellent chef. So my experience with food was having delicious food, and I remember just watching by the stove, just watching them cook. And I decided that it was something that I wanted to learn more about. And so I learned about cooking. When I was still in the corporate world, I was taking cooking classes all the time, just learning about different kinds of cuisines. So cooking is in my blood, and I am from New Orleans, which is, a town of awesome food. And so it's always been with me. And I was thinking about later in my technical career, I actually started doing dinner parties for my friends. I did a little bit of catering. And I took a week off from a vacation and went out to Boulder School of the Rockies and learned all about cooking. So I have a passion for it. I just didn't know I was going to turn it into a business for myself.
Well, I love that. You know, so in a sense, you were kind of like building your chef business while being in corporate, just based on the passion. And what I love about that is that when you are doing what you love
Mhm.
and loving what you do, then the universe starts to sync up.
Right.
And for you, it became a business. And so I want to talk about one of the things I read in your bio was that you want every client to feel like they're the only client. And
Right.
why is that? And how do you do it?
Well, one of the things that I do is I meet with my, prospective clients, and I really try to understand what's important to them. And part of it is the food, but the other thing is, what does providing the food mean for them, right? And how does it affect their lives? And so I listen very clearly for what it is that they want, and I just want them to feel like they're having what I call healthy comfort food, and it really depends on what that is, depends on the person. So comfort food is different for people maybe from the South, maybe versus the West. And so my thing is to just really understand what they want to eat, how they want to eat it, and then do my very best to deliver it. So it could feel like a home cooked meal, maybe a meal that mom may have cooked for them. And for me, I actually, every week that I deliver meals to my clients, they also get a survey from me. Very simple, very simple. I want to know if they loved it, if they like it, or if they never want to see it again. Because there have been a few instances of those things. But I just feel in my heart, I just want people to feel nourished and to feel like they're having a home cooked meal because I'm preparing it for them.
Well, that's incredible. I mean, so the people must feel loved and honored and supported, and I know you are looking at more ways to support. You're a mentor, you're starting to teach, and I've listened to some of your tips on things that you just so talk to us about how, your vision for expanding, because I want the women who are listening here to know that you don't have to stay static,
Right.
that there are callings to move you forward. So what's calling you?
Yeah, well, I feel at my heart, one of the things that I also desire to do is to be a teacher. And I can tell you, Cynthia, from even before I started my business, when I was probably close to leaving corporate America, I started getting a little antsy about being there. And so I got a coach that helped me transition through that whole thing. But what I find is that I'm also a lifelong learner. And so as I'm learning things, I'm not only thinking about the benefit of it for myself, I'm thinking about the benefit for other people. It could be people I know or other people that I feel like I can touch and make their lives better. And so I'd say it's probably been a couple years that I have been wanting to take some of the knowledge that I have um, during this business and helping other chefs to sort of jumpstart their businesses. And so I've been working on it for years, and I did join, the AWE program, and that was one of the big things that I wanted to do, was to get that program launched. And um, last month, I was actually able to launch it and complete it last week, my 6-week program. And so I just have a heart for helping people. And I know what the struggles are sometimes to get over obstacles. I know the things that can get in people's way. And so my goal is just to help people to kind of break through and not have to, experience all the hardships and all the hard times that I have experienced.
Totally get that. I
Hmm.
totally get that. And I think it's beautiful. And I think that mentoring and collaborating, is the wave of how things are unfolding on the planet.
Yes.
And I want to talk about healthy food, because you're from New Orleans. I'm African American. I mean, it's all about food. It's like when we
Right.
gather, it's all about
It
food.
is. It is.
And learning how to take care of ourselves healthy, because what's happening in our country and in our community is diabetes is rising and heart challenges are, so how do you honor the love of taste
Mhm.
and the balance with health?
Right. So one of the things that I feel like I have is I feel like I have a really good palate for tasting good food. And so I am always looking at ways to make food that people, and especially our people, may have traditionally eaten, to make it healthier, right? So we love greens, right? We love greens with fat back and pickled tips and all kinds of other stuff in it. And so one of the things that I do now is I use smoked turkey. I actually had a client beg me to make him some greens with, what was it? Uh, I think it was pickle something. I did it, right? And when I tasted it, I thought, oh my gosh, this is not really good for him. But I did it for him one time. So that's my thing. I think you can flavor food, and it doesn't necessarily have to be salt. It could be like good seasoning blends. I mean, I love to bake chicken, even like chicken wings. I love when I'm not even eating meat anymore, but I hardly ever fry food. And so what I try to do is add new flavors that people may not necessarily have had before, but do give the food really good flavor. So there's lots of herbs, spices, you can bake food. It's interesting because Cynthia, my mother loves fried food. I have tried so much to get my mom to eat like, a baked piece of fish or a blackened piece of fish, and she just won't do it, right? And so I just have to say, okay, mom, you can have what you're going to have, but I'm going to have some baked fish or some grilled shrimp. And so I just feel like if we take a lot of the fat out of our food, we can still have good flavor by using herbs and spices and, adding vegetables to the food that we eat.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because with this pandemic going on, the immune system being strong is just so important. So what we're putting in our bodies is vital. So,
Yes, yes.
so I want to here you are, you're an entrepreneur, you're out here in the world, you're making a difference. What do you think is the biggest challenge for women, stepping into their power today?
Um, so if I think back uh, for myself, when I left corporate America, I told you I had a coach, and it was prior to me leaving, and I was struggling to leave, although I wasn't happy, right? And I felt like it was like those golden handcuffs, and when my boss came and said to me, I'm going to unlock those handcuffs for you and release you, I didn't realize that that was the opportunity for me to really just let it go and then move into what was next for me. And what I think is vital is to have support along the way. And so sometimes we find it difficult to move into what we believe is the next thing, but I think we need people to come alongside us, either to coach us, to hold us accountable, to challenge us. And I have participated in, women's masterminds and other groups. And I just believe having the right level of support helps you to realize the dreams that you have, and know that you don't have to be on this journey alone.
Absolutely, 100%.
Mhm.
So before I ask you my last question, I want you to tell people how to find you because I know you have a website and I know you also have tips. How do people get your support?
Right. So my website is www.gourmet, GOURMETAWAY.net. And then I have a Facebook page, which is Chef Lisa GA, and the GA is for Gourmet Away. And I also have an Instagram account, which is Chef Lisa GA. So, and for email, you can email me at Lisa, Lisa, at gourmetaway.net.
Awesome. I hope you all are listening and I hope you all will tap into this knowledge because it's incredible. I mean, she's just amazing.
Thank you.
I ask the same last question to every guest.
Okay.
What is the one thing you want women to know about awakening at this
Mm,
time on the planet?
mm. Um, the thing that I would like women to know about awakening is that um, there are so many possibilities out there, and that if you just trust and believe in yourself, and that you have what you need, and what you don't have you can get it, that the dreams and the desires that you have on the inside of you, can be realized so that they can make an impact, not only in your community, but in some cases in the world.
Absolutely. And you are such an example of that. And thank you so much for being on the show. I'm so grateful to know you, and I'm so grateful to share you with our audience.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Cynthia.
So ladies, we put up content every week. Please come back time and time again, share it with people, invite women to come in, because the more we all awaken, the better the world will be. I'm so grateful that you've come, and I'll see you next time.